That's why it should be done. Yeah. Sit there, yes. And then the one we had, I was there some years. Sort of, it's good. See that.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, Bernardsville Borough Planning Board Annual Reorganization Meeting. The Planning Board of the Borough of Bernardsville, County of Somerset, and State of New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, in that an annual notice was published in the Bernardsville News on January 21, 2025. Planning Board meetings will be held in person in the meeting hall on the second floor of the Bernardsville Municipal Meeting at Municipal Building at 166 Marlborough Road. Meetings will be live streamed on YouTube with no opportunity for public comment. Members of the public wishing to offer comment or ask questions will be required to attend meetings in person. YouTube live stream access for all meetings is at the internet, www.youtube.com at Bernardsville Borough Streams. This link will be available on the agenda for each meeting, which is posted on the Borough website and on the Borough Public Bulletin Board at least 48 hours prior to each meeting. It's the intention of the board not to continue any matter past 11 o'clock at any regular or special meeting of the board unless a motion is passed by the members that are present to extend to a later specified cutoff time, and same shall be announced at the opening of each meeting. In addition, the board does not intend to begin a new hearing after 10 p.m. nor begin testimony of a new witness after 10:30 p.m. Any hearing conducted by the board is a quasi-judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision. The quorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. It's now my privilege to swear in our new and returning members. I would ask the following board members to please stand and raise your right hand. Rich Trainer, John, our class 3 board member, John Luciano, our class 1 mayor's designee, Andrew Malia, our class 2 board member, and James Sasso, our class 4 board member. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Rich Trainer,
Do solemnly swear.
that
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the state of New Jersey.
and the state of New Jersey,
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
And to the government established in the United States and in this state.
and to the governments established in the states and the state
Under the authority of the people.
and the authority of the people,
And that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and excellently
perform all the duties
perform duties
of the office of planning board member
in the office of planning board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
And that I will not use my office
And I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment,
nor to seek personal gain,
nor to seek personal gain,
favor, or advantage
favor, or advantage,
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome and welcome back. Denise, if we can have a roll call, please.
Yes, just one thing, if I could, just after you sign, if you could just pass them down so that and file them, thank you. Okay, Mr. DeMarco,
Here.
Ms. Geller. Present. Mr. Graham,
Here.
Mr. Malia,
Here.
Mr. Morrison,
Here.
Mr. Sasso,
Here.
Mr. Strainer,
Here.
and Mr. Villapiano.
Here.
We have a shown. Thank you.
It's now a privilege to call for nominations for the chairpersons for calendar year 2026.
So I would nominate Bob Graham for the chairperson once again.
I will second.
Any further nominations? Seeing and hearing none, we will close the nominations, and it's my privilege to hand the figurative gavel.
You might want to vote.
I'm sorry, we did not have a vote, thank you. I couldn't get rid of the gavel quick enough, my God. Okay. I think it was that opening statement that took 10 minutes. Can we have a nomination, we have a second, can we have the voice vote by acclamation since it's uncontested?
What you need?
We have a nomination in a second, voice votes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Great, now we have an election, now the gavel is back,
Congratulations, Bob.
and congratulations. Ken.
Should be a fun year. Nominations for vice chairman.
I'd like to nominate Joe DeMarco as vice chairman again.
Second. Voice vote again. Any other nominations? Hearing none. So,
You can close the nominations and you have a nomination, basically the motion is second, so voice vote will do it.
yeah. Voice vote, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any?
I thought about it.
Welcome to the life. Now, appointment of the professionals, administrative officer and the newspapers section.
Bob, if I may,
Yes.
we have that there as E, but then in H, the resolutions basically take care of each of those items. So if you want to, they take, the resolutions in H take care of E, F, and G. So if you want to just run through the 7 resolutions separately under H, we'll have covered everything.
And we just have a sub for Allison in planning, right?
Yeah, for today.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to just
Okay,
start
great.
with the
Uh,
resolution number 1.
well, the meeting calendar,
I mean, yeah, I'm saying that that'll be covered if you look at H.
just as we do each one.
Yeah, if you go 1 through 7 under H, you'll have covered
Okay,
all of E, F, and G.
all right.
I'm gonna make a request, we change it for next year if you're amenable.
Okay, so we do need a resolution for, I guess, all of them, or we need to vote on each one?
Well, we should vote on each one.
We'll vote on each
So
one.
the first one, resolution number 2026-01 for planning board attorney. That's all I can say about that one.
Yeah. Roll call? Their resolution.
A motion second, a roll call.
I'll move that one.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller. Yes. Mr. Graham,
Yes.
Mr. Malia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Sasso,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Villapiano.
Yes.
Thank you all.
You are.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, it's a privilege to continue to serve, I appreciate it.
And then I would move the resolution for the engineering expert, for Steve Lawyer.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller. Yes. Mr. Graham,
Yes.
Mr. Malia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Sasso,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Villapiano.
Yes. Thank you very much.
I'll just continue if that's okay. I would move the next resolution for planning expert for Allison Fahey of the law, the firm Burgess Associates.
Second. Beginning.
Okay. I second. Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller, yes, Mr. Graham,
Yes.
Mr. Malia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Stafford,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Villaggiano.
Yes.
The motion carried.
Thank you on behalf of the firm. Thanks for having us back, and Allison is looking forward to her return.
Number four, with pleasure, I would move the administrative officer provided by the borough as Denise, to continue with the clerk position.
Second.
Roll call.
Thank you. Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller, yes, Mr. Graham,
Yes.
Mr. Malia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Stafford,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Villaggiano.
Yes.
Thank you all.
And Mr. Chairman, if I may, before anyone moves the next resolution, 2026-5 official newspapers. I did already give a change proposed to Denise. I wanted to verbal, put it on the record. Because it may save us the need to modify the resolutions in the future, given a statutory change last year with respect to notice for public entities to notice. So what I would propose, if acceptable to the board, it agrees be it resolved that the Bernardsville News and Courier News be designated official newspapers for the year, publishing all notices for applications and other matters before the board, which is true and should remain as is. But I thought it best to add thereafter, as of March 1, 2026, the board will be publishing legal notices on the borough website at the www.website for our borough pursuant to public law 2025, chapter 72. That's the statutory change that occurred last year that takes into effect, becomes particularly effective on March 1 for all municipalities, as well as the subsidiary agencies, including land use boards. So notice of adoption and the like, come March 1, will be posted on the website by or.
Instead of the papers.
In addition or instead?
Here's how it worked, in a nutshell, for January and February, have to keep doing it in the papers or the online public, news. Papers or news organizations, but as of March 1, we have to do it on the website. There's a variety of other regulations, discretionary, the boards can continue to do both. The website and the newspapers or news publications after March 1, but must do it on the website on March 1. I do not know what the borough's decision is, let alone, but I suspect our boards may wish to follow what the borough does. I don't know if they're gonna choose to do the discretionary additional publication on the news line or not, maybe others do know. But certainly, we will have to, and they will have to, come March 1, publish on the website. Legal notice.
We're gonna do whatever keyword money is.
Fiscal responsibility makes sense to me. We may do the same. I think at that point, it's probably will just be the website, but I don't want to.
Yeah. So there may be
Yeah,
a
that
middle
makes
ground
sense.
where you could, instead of the current legal notice method, you provide a summary legal notice in the papers that just says, these are the matters. And go to the website. You know, as opposed-
What they are doing without belaboring, the statute requires all municipalities twice a month, January through December of 2026, to in one of the official newspapers state the fact that all notices will be on the website,
Okay.
and to have it, if I recall correctly, a direct link in the website or in the paper. So there is a year-long transition, if you
And
will.
a link to the state website.
And a link to the state DCA's website, the hyperlinks, there's I've got the nice little packet of all the things that we have to do in our municipalities over the course of this year, but ultimately, I think it shouldn't weigh in on this, but I think it's not a bad idea that the municipalities and the board and other subsidiary agencies will be able to do it on the website. I think that might actually make sense. And be more fiscally responsible for municipalities as well. So
You see,
And that's where everybody looks nowadays, I think.
Steve, one other change just to that resolution, the first paragraph says Beville News and Courier, and then the second paragraph just refers to the Beville News.
Thank you.
And it's been seen for a number of years, so it's actually.
For the last time for years.
Okay, so if the board is amenable, you can move second and roll call vote. Resolution 2026-05 official newspapers with that notification.
I'll move it as modified.
Second,
Roll call,
Mr. DeMarco.
Yes.
Ms. Geller. Yes. Mr. Graham.
yes.
Mr. Melia.
Yes.
Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Mr. Sasso.
Yes.
Mr. Trainer.
Yes.
And Mr. Philippiano.
Yes.
The motion carries.
On the schedule, any word for wisdom, Denise, you know?
No, try to, avoid holidays and do, similar to what we did last year. For example, this month, that it's just the one meeting, July and August. We started last year just scheduling one meeting, as council does, and the Board of Adjustment has done the same. And then around the holidays, the same thing in November with the holiday, and in December with the holidays, there are one meeting, each of those.
Okay, so you're able to logically handle each of the dates, there was no like questionable one or whatever?
No, there weren't, and we didn't have any, on our regular days, we didn't fall into any holidays that were, a conflict, so.
Yeah. Okay,
And the 2027 reorg meeting is noted.
So I just had one comment, suggestion. But I'll do whatever anyone wants, but could we move the starting time up to 7:30? Just,
We don't vote for these.
I know,
two things. One, I think we can accomplish more if there's a long meeting, maybe if we get somebody done in one night. And I think most of the meetings I attend start at 7. I don't know. Don't have a conflict with that, 7:30 is fine, but I think starting at 7 helps.
yeah, and it would help, administratively, they could theoretically, if everything were the same, they just get off earlier, so.
Be a whole half hour.
yeah. At 7 o'clock as well.
Environmental initiative 7. I was thinking about that, the same thing today, that there's something, that extra half hour. But can everyone make it from work?
Yes. The only, if we're gonna make that change now, of course, we will have to republish. Oh, no, you haven't, we haven't published. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, no, we haven't, I'm sorry, we haven't published it, we're publishing after. Perfect. We can make that change now. I have some towns that do it in December, to get ahead of it.
Oh,
Good.
no.
I'm fine with the meeting schedule with the start time at 7. That,
Second?
Roll call,
Mr. DeMarco,
yes.
Ms. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Graham,
yes.
Mr. Melia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Mr. Sasso,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Philippiano.
Yes.
Motion carried.
We got one question on that, not that it would impact my vote, just out of curiosity, so then, would that mean that the limit that we have imposed by, meetings have to end by a certain time, would everything be shifted up by half an hour?
Not really.
Okay, so we're allowing for half an hour more time.
If
Okay.
needed.
Yeah.
And sometimes we've been stuck where that extra half an hour, somebody could finish.
Yeah.
And, or the expert finished and after that.
Right, okay, makes sense.
But it's 12 o'clock, people say we didn't, it's 5.
Yeah, those are brutal.
Okay. All right, the readoption of the bylaws.
I'm gonna have to make a quick modification now on that one, because the bylaws do provide for 7:30 PM start time, so
Okay.
I suspect we'll be doing a 7 PM start time to modify our bylaws. We do have a 7:30 PM start time also for regular subdivision committee meetings and evaluation committee meetings. I don't know how often those occur, but they're in our bylaws.
I'm just make everything set.
Changing.
We'll change everything to 7, in the bylaws, and, don't think anything else, but I had checked previously to see if anything needed to be changed in the bylaws. It didn't until we made this start time change. So that would be the only change I would recommend.
Okay, motion. Everything.
Motion to adopt the bylaws with the amendment to a start time of 7 PM for all meetings.
Second.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, for the second. Thank you. Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Graham.
Yes.
Mr. Melia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Sasso,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Delphine.
Yes.
The motion carries.
So that concludes our,
We can do a motion to close the reorganization and open regular meeting. And we don't have to repeat everything, we can go right to our items there.
You have to do the evaluation and subdivision committee appointments.
Did we have to.
Here. Do they exist anymore?
Yeah, I think the evaluation committee sounds good to me. Focus on the master plan. Subdivision committee, my guess is probably gonna meet, and I don't see a lot of minor subdivisions coming through these days. But evaluation one sounds good.
We can appoint, the chair can appoint, three.
I think
three.
we don't, do we need to do it in this meeting, or can we?
It says at the reorg meeting, but we can probably move to, or just agree to do it later.
Sounds,
If you want to take the time to make sure people won't,
Yeah.
line people up and
yeah, after the glow is worn off a little.
then we can schedule that for the next meeting.
Sounds good, okay.
Make sure the appointees are accepting the appointments.
All right, so we're concluding.
Well, yeah, a motion second or a voice vote's fine to close the reorg and open the regular.
To close the reorg.
Voice vote, all in favor? All right. Any opposed? And another one to reopen?
No, that was a
That's
close
good
down. Open.
Oh,
That's how I interpreted it.
very good. That's what I meant.
Okay. No meeting minutes, no communications, we do have bills.
Some of the bills are in September.
Yes, so the bills typically come 4 to 6 weeks later than the time period and the public meetings.
Take a motion.
That would be a roll call vote since it involves expenditure of funds.
Yeah.
Of September.
Total for this month is $4,073.25.
So a motion to pay this month's bills totaling $4,070.25.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Graham,
Yes.
Mr. Melia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison.
Yeah.
Mr. Sasso.
Yes.
Mr. Trainer.
Yes.
And Mr. Delphine.
Yeah.
Just board member Geller, the invoice states that welcome December on this.
Oh, the services in September.
Services.
Yeah, well, that's, again, and sometimes certain professionals bill a little bit, you're like, yeah.
I just happen to know that we voted a few times since that.
Okay, is anyone who's visiting, here for matters that are not before us tonight? So if you're here for something other than Bistro 73, you're welcome to come down and ask whatever you want. See none, okay. So we're now to the main event, which is public hearings, and we have Bistro 73 LLC at 69 Monbrook Road, block 77, lot 9, its application SP 252.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, as council is getting ready to provide the opening, I did have an opportunity to review the affidavit of proof of service and publication of notice. I found the notice to be sufficient content and the notice to be timely served, certified mail on January 2nd, published on January 3rd, in the Bernardsville News. Both of those dates are at least 10 days prior to this evening. So it's still really good, and the board has jurisdiction here to decide the application. Just that on the record. An opportunity to enter the appearance.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board professionals. Frederick Zelli, post Pollock, on behalf of the applicant, Bistro 73 LLC. This is regarding 69 Minebrook Road, it's block 77, lot 9, located in your DC downtown corridor zone. This is the application of Bistro 73 for preliminary and final site plan approval with a parking variance for the subject property. The applicant operates Bistro 73, a restaurant on the adjacent property, which is 73 Minebrook Road, block 77, lot 8. Certain of the applicant's principals to a different LLC are under contract to purchase the subject property, conditioned upon this application being successful. First floor of the building located on the property presently hosts a martial arts center, and the second floor hosts residential apartments for which no changes are proposed. The applicant wishes to convert the first floor into an auxiliary dining room with associated restrooms, etc., to be used as an events venue with smaller wedding receptions and other social gatherings. This venue will be serviced by 73 Bistro's kitchen. There would be no kitchen added to the subject property. By way of history, the applicant's existing restaurant has been the subject of 3 prior applications before this board. The resolutions for which are included in our materials. In 2015, the applicant obtained site plan approval for outdoor dining. 2017, the applicant obtained amended site plan approval for different outdoor dining. In 2022, the applicant obtained site plan approval to convert temporary COVID-related outdoor dining into permanent outdoor dining and to construct a 3rd story to house 2 additional apartments. The latter was not actually implemented. Currently, pursuant to the aforementioned site plan approvals, lot 8, 73, hosts a 90-seat indoor restaurant on the first floor, a seasonal covered atrium with 40 seats, and a seasonal outdoor dining area, patio area, also with 40 seats, for a total outdoor dining of 80 seats. All located between the building located on lot 8 and the subject building. So those areas are on lot 8, but physically in between the 2 buildings. The events dining room proposed for the subject building would have seating of up to 40 and would be serviced, as I said, by the Bistro 73 kitchen. When this venue would be in use, no more than 50 seats would be in use on lot 8, combined indoor and outdoor. In order to maintain the maximum seating of 90 permitted under the prior site plan approvals, due to there being limited parking available as the subject property has no on-site parking. This application is seeking the following relief: preliminary and final site plan approval, the operation of a 40-seat social events venue on the first floor of the building on the subject lot. Secondly, parking variance, and this is effectively to adopt the relief granted to lot 8 in the prior site plan approvals for the reasons set forth therein, as the total amount of seating will remain capped at 90 between the 2 lots. So we're not anticipating any actual changes in use in terms of number of people, in terms of seating, nothing like that. It's just where they're physically going to be seated might now be on lot 69 either solely or in conjunction with lot 70, or number 73. My sole witness this evening is Adrian Barisha, who's a principal, the applicant, and the general manager of Bistro 7. Unless anyone has questions for me. And I would ask that Mr. Barisha be sworn in.
And I'll swear in our board professional as well. As we do for every hearing, you will all raise your right hand, you will swear to God to affirm and to testify about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Do. Thank you. Please proceed.
Mr. Barisha, for the record, would you please give us your name and address?
From Brescia, 20 Gold Boulevard, Basking Ridge.
And just for the record, spell your last name, please.
Berisha, Berisha.
And this would be self-explanatory, but what is the address of Bistro 73?
73 Mine Brook Road.
Okay. And what is your relationship to Bistro 73 LLC?
I'm the majority owner there for 23 years.
And that property, lot 8, is owned by Halil and Zoje, if I'm pronouncing that correctly?
That's correct.
It's an LLC as well?
Yes, it is.
And what's your relationship to that entity?
So I'm also the landlord of the property.
So you're a member of that LLC that owns the property?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Bistro 73 is a tenant of that?
That's correct.
Okay. What is 69 Minebrook LLC?
That is across from our patio, the building next door to us, which Jim Kwan owns.
Okay. So are you a member of 69 Minebrook LLC?
I'm not.
You're not? Are you going to be?
That's my goal.
Okay. Just to be clear.
That's the goal.
Just to be clear, let's not confuse with the current.
Okay.
69 Minebrook LLC is intended to own that property ultimately.
Yes,
If this is approved this evening.
that is correct.
Okay,
Yes.
and you are or will be a member of that LLC, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. Okay, and again, so 69 Minebrook LLC is under contract to purchase lot 9, is that correct?
That is correct.
But it's conditioned upon approval tonight.
That's right.
Okay. Let's discuss the current operation of Bistro 73. Can you describe the atmosphere, the type of quality of the fare that's offered? Just describe the restaurant to us.
It is a BYOB, which will remain that way. It's a American bistro, Italian influence. Takeout, we do events and alcohol.
Not a fast serve restaurant, a full.
As I sit down,
Sit
but
down.
it is a little quicker pace because it is a BYO, so it is a quicker pace restaurant. Yeah. But yeah, won't find out.
Now, how many dining rooms? Let's stick with the building for now. How many dining rooms do you have now?
There are 2 dining rooms inside.
Okay, and what is the seating capacities of each of those?
One is 50 in the back area, in the front area seats 40.
So that's the total of 90.
Yes.
And the board's going to hear that number 90 quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, yes.
And now tell us what's outside on lot 8.
Okay, so we have the patio. That's in between the atrium and the building. So you walk outside from the side door, you enter the patio seating. Then if you go further in, you have the atrium, which retracts, and we serve out there as well. The patio is only seasonal. We do serve all year long in the atrium itself. It is heated. Not adequately enough, but it's heated enough for we still have the business there. And it makes when it's very cold.
That is an actual building with walls and so forth?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It closes and opens, yes. It opens and closes.
And we've discussed the prior approvals in 15, 17, and 22. And primarily because of parking, the board has limited you to a total use of 90 seats at any given moment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And just to be clear, and we'll repeat this a lot, that's intended to stay in place even if this is approved tonight.
Yes, it is. My kitchen can handle more anyway, regardless, but that's rated 90 seats yet.
And between I didn't ask you this, how many seats are there in the atrium?
I have 40 seats in the atrium.
And in the patio?
There's another 40, and we can offset a little bit, but 40, but 90 outside total, which is in the season, 99% of guests is still outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so generally, and you might have just answered the question, but generally, how do you have 170 physical seats? You're only allowed to seat 90, so how do you make sure that that is adhered to?
Well, again, our kitchen can only service a certain amount of people, so we use certain dining rooms collectively at times. It could, for a la carte, of course, so, but again, in the season, the vast majority are outside.
But do you make sure that at no time more than 90?
That is correct. Whether you use the back room We don't use the front dining area, we use the atrium, collectively 90 seats, yes.
And aside from the restaurant, what does 73 Minebrook, what does that building include?
There are two tenants upstairs, two apartments. One is my mom and the other is our two employees that work downstairs.
Okay. And where do tenants for 73 park? Residential tenants,
In our back parking lot.
and that is not allowed to be used by customers.
That's correct. It's only for tenants and employees.
So that's the next question. Where do your employees park?
Same in our parking lot.
And now where do your patrons park, your customers?
Street parking, they park in the train station as well.
There was mention in the prior applications about an off-site parking lot to the south, I believe, up on the hill. Is that generally not used by your customers?
People feel okay here too, but there are plenty of parking spaces in the train station itself. And then right across the street, they park there when they close. It's now currently Roost and Co.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a request that which you're almost having a conversation with each other, which is nice, but I want to make sure the mic is picking up everything you're saying, and also everybody here can hear everything you're saying. If you could speak up a little bit, because when providing a testimony, questions and answers.
Are you currently, have you been experiencing any problems with lack of parking or shortage of parking?
There has not been a problem, no.
Just one last question on 73. How is trash disposal handled for the restaurant?
We have two dumpsters in the back of the restaurant, one for the cardboard and one for the trash.
Okay, and how frequently they're picked up by the carting company?
Twice a week each.
And has that been sufficient?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's talk about the subject property, 69 Minebrook Road. What does that building currently contain?
Yeah, two tenants upstairs, one and one, two apartments. Then you have the laundromat cafe. Then you have the taekwondo and also the haircutter, barber shop as well.
I'm going to ask you to take a look at the architectural plan. It's been submitted. I understand you didn't prepare it, but I'm not going to ask you anything technical. If you just take a look at the plan. These, by the way, for the record, this has not been changed at all since what was submitted. I will just note for the record, there are actually two versions of this sheet. They have no substantive difference, but they are labeled differently. One says electrical, one says proposed seating plan. Other than labeling, the only difference is the electrical shows the wiring. And just due to a photocopying.
For the record, this is last to provide May 21, 2025.
That is correct.
Thank you.
But again, both plans show the same seating area. We apologize. It's just, we ended up with two different versions. So you each have one of those two, but again, other than showing wires in the electrical plan, there's no difference with. Mr. Grisha, if you're looking at the plan now. Showing seating in the rear of the building. Bathroom facilities, correct?
Yes.
And then in the front, there's an indication on the proposed seating plan. It's labeled existing tenant. Misspelled, but this existing tenant.
I just want to make sure.
So these are the architectural plans. Bottom right. If it says proposed seating plan. The area I'm asking about says existing tenant, but it's spelled T-E-N-E-N-T. The electrical version, I think it says what the midnight salon.
Yes, yes.
I think that actually says a lot of that. Yeah. Will that space continue to be occupied by a tenant, or will you be taking that space over as well?
That will be continued as a tenant. That will continue occupied now.
Currently, it's what kind of salon?
It's a barber shop. Two chairs. Yeah.
And for the foreseeable future, it will stay that way.
Yes.
Okay. Looking now at the area in the rear, showing seating for 40. Am I correct in assuming that because this is a event type space, this configuration is conceptual? Depending on the event, you might have tables set up, horseshoes, formations, or what have you.
The configuration will be different at times according to what's going on at our parties or other car.
But for the record, it will never be more than 40 in that space.
That is correct.
And continuing on with the rest of the building, what is upstairs?
There are two tenants. There's one tenant on each apartment.
So two residential.
Two residential apartments, yes.
Are they single bedroom or two bedroom, do you know?
I think one's a studio, one's a single bedroom.
Okay. And you have no plans for changing that?
I do not.
Okay.
Access to those, are the stairs or how do the tenants get access to their?
There is one staircase that goes to the salon there, and also the tenants have the same staircase that they do upstairs, yes. The residential tenants.
And that's there's only one staircase.
There's only one staircase upstairs.
Now I'm gonna ask you to go to the next plan. Unless board members have questions about this plan, we can stop to do that. Okay. Let's flip and go. to-
I had a quick, do you know what the fire capacity limits are on each of the two, well, yes. Certainly you know what it is.
Do you know that offhand?
I don't. I don't.
Okay.
Quick question on the new door into the new space, is that going to be handicap accessible too? Because you may have different leveling from the patio, bro.
It will be. It will be handicap accessible.
And I actually meant to call that out, so it is that, as I understand it, is the only physical construction you intend to do as part of this project, is adding that door, is that
A
correct?
doorway from the patio into 69 Minebrook Road. Yes,
And it's side entry into between the patio and the atrium,
that's correct.
and that is shown on the plan, that is labeled area of new opening, verified and field, is that right?
That's correct.
Helpful. And that, well, we'll get into some questions about that. Any other questions about the actual plan at the moment?
Go ahead. So the new side entrance, the main entrance though will be from the street, that's sort of the top there.
Yeah, the main entrance from 202.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like, because there is a double door there, entrance, that is the main entrance there, yes.
And then that between the double door entrance, till you get back to the tables, that's gonna be kind of like a waiting area.
It is, so waiting, and no bar obviously, but waiting or perhaps service station of some sort. But no one will be seated there. Yeah.
That's where the front desk is of the body studio now. right?
That's correct, that's correct.
So would there be like a coat room there? Is that?
Yeah, definitely be a co-room. It's a service area of some sort.
At the rear of the new, 69, those steps up to the back of the.
They are up.
Okay.
There's upstairs to the outdoor area.
And did you say that the patio exists or does not exist today?
The outdoor patio between them? Yeah.
The outdoor patio.
behind.
Oh, behind.
There is
But let's just be clear, are you asking about behind 69, yes.
Right. I think he uses that for storage. What I see is he has storage that he uses for out there, but he doesn't use for anything else. Yes,
You have no intention to use the patio for any part of the restaurant.
no
Like,
intention,
no one's going to sit in the back patio.
absolutely not.
You're not gonna open it up and utilize it at any time.
No,
For dancing
Not for
or
dancing, smoking.
Nothing. nothing.
That's what they want to hear.
And it will not be utilized.
To that end, is the rear entry and exit, is that primarily for emergency
Yes,
egress?
yes, it is.
And where's the trash pickup? For this building?
So he had, Jim Kwan doesn't have a dumpster back there. He has like multiple garbages,
Right,
and it's directly behind the building where that patio is.
right.
How will you be handling trash removal for the banquet facility?
Well, that would be continue using where it's currently behind Bistro 73 with
Right,
the large dumpsters.
So your staff will be removing trash from the building, taking it over to 73 and putting those down?
Absolutely. There will be no individual trash cans behind 69 Minebrook Road. No, it's gonna be all dumpsters away from the building.
Will the trash disposal for the tenants upstairs and for the barber shop continue to be on 69, or will you incorporate those over to 73 as
I'll
well?
incorporate those behind Bistro 73. Yes, all one area.
So I see the two restrooms, are those shared with the barber shop? I see that there's a door that goes to the restroom.
I noticed that as well. So the customers or the barbers themselves, they use those bathrooms. Yes. Or the bathroom. They were there already, yes.
Will there just, will there be a door or something to keep anybody from going from the barber shop through that restroom area back to your
There'll be
space?
some sort of separation, yes.
So you mentioned, the 40 seats,
Yes,
and I understand you have referenced globally 90 seats in all these different spaces. So do you mean to say you would never have more than 40 people in here? I mean, is that?
well, 90 people total, like 90 people entirely. Yes, but in this dining area, that's the goal.
If you're not seating, if you can fit 90 people in there and everything else is closed, your lawyer said you're not gonna have more than 40.
No,
So.
and it's not that large, just it more,
No, I'm saying
but yes,
if
no more than 40.
There's still.
That is correct. That is correct.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to point out a question related, because if I read the addendum to the planning board application correctly, it said when the venue would be in use, no more than 50 seats would be in use on lot 8. Which I read to mean then they would just max out at 40 elsewhere, but that was a little bit different than what was just answered the board member Geller's question, so maybe we can clarify that.
No, 50 for 1 7.
Then, did they ever intend to take that 90? Yes, take the 90 and have 60 people, because lawyers limiting you.
So wait,
So-
look at this one, there's two limitations. One is 40 for this building,
Right.
period, no exceptions to it, and then 90 globally.
90 overall.
On the overall with the 50 spread out in the different dining areas, patio areas, menu.
So in theory, if they were maxed out on 69 Minebrook, they could have 50 seats spread across the other 4 venues, the 2 indoor, 2 outdoor. Probably not likely to
Yeah.
be spread out like that, but possible.
I mean, you really stretch out the staff, and then, which is not good, and also the kitchen can only handle.
And just to restate, your kitchen capacity that you're comfortable with, operating with, even though you've had more than 90 seats available to you, your kitchen could never really service that at the level.
It's really difficult, you know, it gets to a point where we know what we can handle. And that is the maximum capacity, but you know, we do a couple seatings too. You're coming in, customers, early time, they're leaving, new ones coming in, so we know what we can do, we can accommodate, including the front of the house staff as well.
But I'm saying, I just, for comfort of everyone, right, even though there's available space.
Yes,
The kitchen makes, the size of the kitchen and the type of restaurant you run make it impossible to take advantage of that excess space.
that is correct, we
Right?
don't,
It's just-
yeah, we don't take advantage,
Even if you wanted to.
even if we wanted to. There's no way it's gonna happen,
Okay,
there's no way it's gonna happen,
just wanted to say it a different way.
yes.
Mr. Bruce, and I think this goes without saying, but the reason that we say seating is because 90 seated at any given time. We're not suggesting that you're capped off at 90 people to go through your doors between opening and closing.
I understood, yeah, that's
Just
right,
making sure the board members.
yes,
That's what they mean.
of course.
I'm listening to your testimony and obviously want to trust it. I'm also cognizant that in the area, in the new area, because it's an event space, there is the potential to have buffets. Now, buffet, which increases the capacity of the kitchen by serving in a buffet format. So I'm listening to you, you say there are only gonna be 40. You're saying the kitchen's the limit. Like, that's the testimony, that's what we're going with, so.
Why cap it at 40?
You know, it's really the service issue between our servers on the floor, where it's impossible to cover all the space. We have 95% of our servers are full-time. We have a couple part-timers. So we know that what our capacity is, as far as what we can handle properly. If we fill up, not even all the space, 60-70% of all total seats that we have, it's impossible to handle. It can't do it.
But why not just say the total capacity is 90?
Yeah, it is, total capacity is 90.
But
Yes.
why say there's 40 in this new space?
Well, I noticed space size also for, I mean, I don't know.
Isn't it occupancy? Yeah, have you looked at?
I went there a couple of times
Okay.
and I saw the room. I mean, right now it's kind of really wide open, so it's hard to grasp it exactly. But stretching the staff as far as we can, and also the kitchen can only handle so many seats, covers.
No, I get. This new room at 69.
Yes.
From your perspective, is the comfort level of people enjoying themselves or the type of things you want? Is that 40-person limit?
It's a 40-person, 40-person, because
50.
quality. If you wanna do quality, yes, if you wanna do quality, good, if you don't, then it doesn't make sense, but that's what we wanna do, the capacity 40 there.
Just to double down, the 40 capacity is more based on the actual seating arrangements and sit down, people seated in there, right? That's why it's 40. You couldn't fit any more tables in there if you wanted.
That's right, and also it can be in different configurations as well, not just like these individual, but the capacity of that room, for what I've seen, if you do more than 40, it's not gonna be comfortable. You will not be comfortable.
In the front lobby.
Yeah.
I've sat in many times at a Taekwondo health test.
So you're bringing food in through the new side door, is that accurate?
That's correct.
So.
One other note too, right? You said that the front double doors of the current Taekwondo would be an entrance as well, because there are stairs as soon as you walk in there too, which I don't believe are handicap accessible.
No, that one is not. And honestly, looking at it, because our clientele is so familiar with our restaurant, the vast majority come through our front door. They see the hostess, and then we take them wherever we take them, patio or the atrium or the back room. So that side door off the patio, let's say the proposed new entrance, the vast majority is going through there. I don't think, that's the way to get into our restaurant. You have to come see the hostess. Then we're gonna seat you accordingly. So that front door is probably hardly ever gonna be used.
So even folks coming for the events are going to go through 73 initially?
They do. Everyone comes inside because that's where the main entrance is. So everyone comes through there, then we just distribute them where necessary. It will be through the patio door if you want to go outside.
So for events, like let's use weddings as an example. Let's say that the wedding party wants to book your entire facility. And they might say, this space in question here is the dance floor. But people are gonna be eating in the other area, so you're never gonna exceed 90. But hypothetically, as the night goes on, 90 people could wind up going in this space on the dance floor. Is that?
No, that won't happen, because when we design an event, they have one space. And they have a room fee that they pay for that. And that's how we do it. We do whatever venue you choose, whatever venue you use. That's where your party is. So you can't just gallivant in different
You
areas.
can't buy the place out and then everybody filters into one area.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
That door seems to be too conservative. For what you're gonna send through it, all the people, and your food as well, just reconsider that. You got a lot of, it's really a critical door, got a lot of stuff going through it, so.
Make sure it's white.
Yeah, make sure it's, or whatever.
Well, that's my intent. The architect came and I told him what I wanted, but it has to make sense, absolutely.
That's
Comfortable.
Efficient as possible, it's gonna say, you gotta deal with the level of the door, right? Remember in your patio, you had, it was just a couple inches.
Yes.
You gotta think about that.
That's true.
All right,
That's correct.
so you're saying that the hair salon or the barber shop, that door that's there would be used exclusively by the barber shop staff? Not by the patron?
And the tenants.
The tenants have their own,
No,
Well, initially coming off the street, I'm referring to.
if you come out the street, you're not going into the door that's, the little door that's connected to the barber shop.
The
See where the
interior,
bathrooms are, right?
Mhm.
We'll see where the hair salon is, right?
Mhm.
There's a door right there. That door is only gonna be used by the barber shop.
Yes, by the barber shop. There are two of them there.
So one entrance. So.
Right, but access to the barber, access to the tenant, the patrons of the barber shop will have access to.
right, that's what I asked Mr. Grisha a little while before, will the
No, it's
final end of it be blocked so that people can't get back?
Yeah, they should.
credible. Understand your, it's essentially for the benefit of the trusted tenant to use for herself. That door.
Right.
And that's access to the basement, right? That.
There is a staircase to go into the basement, yes.
Now, does the hair salon tenant ever go to the basement for anything?
You know what, I know her and, what she told me is just Jim Quan has storage out there, it's never used for, just some storage. Yeah, that's all, that's what she told me.
Do you have more to,
I have more questions. I think I'll be breezing through a lot of them because we've covered a lot of it already. Before I do though, I just want to have him look at the engineering plan really quickly. Just to confirm for the record, the accurately depicts of the site.
The one that's got more details, the one you got.
This is one prepared by Apcar Associates. The date is May 23rd. I don't see a revision date.
right, they usually give it an A, one or two or something, right?
It's, this is part of your package, so.
Okay.
Is she one of one?
Yes,
that's correct.
By, the only date is May 23rd? Correct. Okay, that's the action statement.
Yeah.
Right, and Mr. Brescia, just to be clear, this plan shows both lots 8 and 9, it shows 73 and 69. Right.
Yes, it does.
It shows the patio area in the front closest to the sidewalk and then the atrium behind.
Correct.
And then shows the proposed conceptual seating is slightly different, but it shows the seating area proposed for 69.
That's correct.
That's all, I just want to make a record since we don't have the engineer here. Just. All right, so you've indicated that the event patrons in 69 will not be using the patio or the atrium.
That is correct.
You described this a little bit, but how do you anticipate the staff members getting from the kitchen in 73 to the venue?
Same way to go to the patio or the atrium, the same side door. So whether you go to the patio, depending on what's going on, or the atrium or the proposed use. Through that door, through the patio.
And then through the new door into 60.
That's correct.
Okay. You're not proposing any new landscaping for either property as part of this application, is that right?
No, no landscape.
Okay. Other than any safety lighting that might be required in connection with the new door, you're not proposing any new lighting, is that correct?
I'm not.
On either side?
No, I'm not.
Okay. How about signage? Any types of signs on 69?
In the front of the building, I have to put a sign out for the restaurant, whatever's required is what we're gonna do.
So we'll comply with whatever sign regulations apply.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to confirm just for the record, we are here this evening seeking preliminary and final site plan approval and a parking variance for 69. That request is, as I said at the beginning, though, is effectively to apply the existing parking variance to this building because there's no additional parking on this site and there will be no additional customer count as a result of this site being utilized. Is that
That is correct.
I have nothing further for Mr. Brescia.
Steve, I have a legal question. If we approve this, it's based on the fact that we will have effectively the same land coming on, a different ownership. But if Bistro 73 is sold or this space is sold, you can't have this travel, this use travel with the property because it's tied to the requirements and the variances here. So the approval has to say, this is no longer tied to the restaurant, they can't use this as an event space.
We cannot limit the ownership or upkeeping. But we can tie the approval together, and including the parking,
Variance.
limitation, stipulation. Together, so that they would have to function in that way.
And if I may, it's tied to the kitchen as
Well,
well.
dining event, I have to say,
Yeah.
there's no kitchen facility. We'll have to have the appropriate stipulation.
But-
So there's no kitchen facility.
I just want to make sure down the road, this doesn't have the ability to operate as an event space.
Separate apartment.
Separate and
Separate apart from the,
Because this won't have parking to accommodate it if it's separated from,
What, once joined, they cannot be separated and exist. The variance doesn't get bifurcated and broken between the two for the park.
it's effectively gonna be a joint variance. We've been. I think it would be appropriate. Assuming approval for. Either the resolution as a whole or a deed restriction with the appropriate conditions referenced. To be recorded in the county clerk's office so that any subsequent purchasers of either are on notice. Of the restrictions. The parking restrictions, et cetera, but also of the restrictions on. I should say, the coming together, if you will.
because it'll be grandfathered if somebody, I'm not trying to, I'm just looking down the road. I've personally witnessed, I've been out and watched the lights go out at 9 o'clock, or people are still sitting there, that you have been following, but if you separate these, someone can argue this is grandfathered. And I don't.
Theoretically, they could have an event space without food, what have you, but
That's what,
so we would, as I understand it, the representation is being made that these are gonna function in combination. The parking limitation is tied, the two are tied together, if you will.
But wouldn't we clearly have to define the use then, because this comes up at a new tenant, will be a new use, and it's not a restaurant. In other words, it's this 69, it's, as you say, an event space or whatever, but there would be some usage code for this space.
As long as it's a permitted use.
Yeah, what it would be, there would be a use, and that we should establish, what that use is, because. If someone were to then say, well, I do wanna put a restaurant there, you'd say, well. If it were a split, you'd say, well, it's not a restaurant today, so it's subject to all of the zoning.
but you can say it's an event space and I can bring in hot plates and.
Sure you can. And you can continue, and that can happen, if this were to split, that would potentially. Right.
If this does split, this use doesn't get to continue without a.
And we can add a stipulation that I think helps with this overall issue, which is that in the event. Those using the event space were to self-cater, bring their own food, what have you. We would still then be reduced to 50, and we could have something in the resolution.
This not being a viable business venture. The applicant wants to sell this. Sell this. It's now sold with a.
Event space.
Event space and it's back and some next year comes in and says, well, I'm just gonna use that event space and I have 40 people back there. And have birthday parties and have pizza delivered and have people in there, right? And there is no parking. That's separate use, it's a dependent. use.
Right.
It's
Language needs to say that it's variance is permitted, provided that it is always part of the neighboring property. And that should it ever separate, that the variance doesn't carry it forward.
So
Right, they're not, right, the basis for the variance no longer exists.
We're in full agreement with that, and.
Yeah, I just got a wordsmith with speed. Right.
But can I ask this stupid question? So, I mean, arguably right now, it's currently an event space, right? I mean, the Taekwondo, go on a weekend or you go for the belt things, there, I mean, what are the parking requirements for that? There could be 100 people in that room watching these belt things, which will be much less than what they're going to have.
Well, I don't have a problem with what Easter 73 wants to do.
Right.
And again, they have complied with the requirements for seating for what they have now. I'm just saying that down the road, if they sell this and it's.
Somebody come back to let us know what they're doing as opposed to grandfathered in, never got set.
That could certainly be a condition that we would stipulate to, and we have no objection to recording the resolution. For this, I'd rather not go into a deed restriction because it's more. What they only.
No, I think we recorded,
Oriented.
just recorded.
Yeah.
Somebody finds it and finish, satisfied the same code.
I agree.
But they're formally on notice, actually.
There has to be that nexus, that time, yeah.
Anything else?
I'm sorry, there's no board member questions. I might have had a couple.
No, go ahead.
Don't feeling for looking at my prior resolutions, but is there, well, I guess. Music, speakers. I know this is indoor, not outdoor, but what's planned for the event space?
As far as speakers or music,
Is it just gonna be dining, or will there be live music?
it will not be live music.
Will there be?
Speakers, just like we have right now, we have a sonar system.
That's in the outdoor.
Yeah, outdoor and in the atrium as well. And we will apply that to the same thing as 69 Minebrook Road. Where it's just the same music is goes out to the all the buildings.
So if you're having a wedding reception and they want some kind of live, you don't allow
No,
that.
we don't do that.
Okay.
We don't do that now.
Okay.
No, I'm just curious, I'm sorry, is you said there's speakers for the outdoor?
There are speakers in the back.
And 73 there are.
Yes.
Speakers.
We had a condition, the original, maybe we modified it, the original, no. Applicant shall refrain from installing speakers and shall not provide any outdoor entertainment or music.
Yeah, because it was outdoor though.
Oh, the atrium is okay.
Yeah, sure.
I thought you said the patio,
Well, it's outdoor atrium, it's connected, but
but not, okay, not the patio.
no, where the atrium is outdoor, and especially when the roof is open, I mean, it's not, we're not blasting music, it's background music.
The atrium,
Yes.
so you said patio. We had it on page one. Lighting and cover. We had well, there's no new lighting, so the shut off will stand to the one. Correct. Would the hours of operation be the same within the restaurant's hours of operation?
Same, it will be the same, yes. All the same.
I think just a general, all the prior conditions for the first one apply to the.
Right, well, that I'm gonna have, I wanted to see if there was any changes, but obviously, all prior approval conditions, to the extent not consistent with this approval, if it is approved, will remain in full force and effect. Agreed. And I think that's all I had, thank you.
Any other?
I did have a couple questions. It's the letter prepared by Bob Burtley. Under plan review, number 2, there's a reference on the plan to lot 5 parking. But the testimony was tonight that the customer parking is either at a train station on their own street. So does that indicate that you do not use the lot 5 parking area?
Just to be clear, you mean lot 9?
Just lot 5 parking on the plan,
Lot 5 was an off-site,
Off-site.
we're not using that parking lot.
Yeah.
This is page 3 of the December Boswell report, right?
Yes.
Subsection B, plan review number 2.
Yeah.
And you have four spots right now, because you didn't build the 2 units.
Wow.
That is true. That is true.
So you're gonna. Draft that the plan be revised to eliminate that lot 5 parking area spaces once the plan for signature.
I don't think, well, it was approved, I don't wanna, it's a practical matter, we're not using it, but I would be restricted against it.
Lot 5 is just another off-site parking.
Right. It just may not have as much available as was reported.
It's not, as close as the other stuff.
They may choose to do it, you know, people have an event space, they often hire a valet and to have a valet have a spot nearby to park to, and who knows what the thing is gonna look like.
I would just leave it in.
You don't, I don't think you want to lose it.
No,
And just clarify what you got. It's not quite 69 spaces.
You may need to lease it, be. 3, 4, dealt with the parking situation, lot 8 versus lot 9. Bob, very question. There concur that if you are reducing martial arts to this event seating, or you're reducing the amount of parking, you're going to need a parking variance specifically for lot 9. I'll defer to our board planner and board attorney in respect to that. I know there was some discussion relative to the parking. And then items 5, our signature box, legend box. I've seen no issue with that, as well as 7 and 8. I believe the open comments. There are 6 copies standard and having a signature open on the plans. For all purposes, in an architectural plan and
No objection to the technical requirements.
And lot 9, that's, or excuse me, condition. Comment number 6, testimony had been provided. I just deferred to our planner and.
I guess I'll provide some more information and then we can perhaps arrive at a solution there. So, to the point that the existing martial arts studio occupies the space in question, I've estimated the floor area to be about 1,800 to 2,000 square feet, which dictates the parking requirements. So the martial arts use is considered a recreational use per the code. And parking requirement for such use is 1 space per 250 square feet. So I've estimated a parking requirement of 8 spaces for the space that's being converted to 40-seat event space. So right now, that site has, if you look at it as almost an 8-space parking credit. I do think the parking variance has to be transferred because when that portion of the building is occupied, technically it's occurring on that site and it requires some amount of parking, even though globally it's the same number of seats because you're tagging the property. I think the variance should be extended to that. And specifically tied to the restaurant use not to exceed 90 seats, as the resolution will reflect. And again, I think that will alleviate the board's concerns that if at some point in time, the space is converted into something else, that applicant would have to seek additional relief, presumably come back to the board unless it somehow complies. Probably wouldn't because there's no on-site parking. So in all likelihood, any subsequent use would come back to the board. So that's probably I think the way to handle it. One question that I do have is that the plans indicate that there are 9 spaces on site. And when I count them in the back, I think I counted 11, so they're right there and on. The record will probably have an accurate representation of what exists on site.
I don't think, I was out there this today, and I think those 2 spots behind the atrium are inaccessible. So there is 9, you don't count those 2.
Okay, fair.
But I actually this is just a suggestion, but if you want to squeeze in another parking spot, if you turn those 2 spots that are directly behind the atrium 90 degrees. And didn't use the spot next, like right the 3rd spot next to them.
Yeah.
You could actually get, 2 usable spaces versus essentially 1 use. You lose 1 usable space and pick up 2. But it's total recommendation. It's I think how you stripe it is how you stripe it.
Makes sense. No, it makes sense. Thank you.
In terms of the parking ratio, the one, the recreation and so forth, if this were restaurant space, the count compared to the count you gave, which is 8, I think.
Right.
If this were restaurant space, it would, what would
It
be
would be 40 divided by 3, which is 13.3 rounded up to 14.
13? Yeah, I just wanted the number, that's all.
Even to the extent if there's any gray area as to whether parking variance is required, just to be conservative, we're requesting it.
Oh, we weren't gonna let it off.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It does, and I suspect not, but at least not recently, does 67, 69, does 69 have, and 67, I guess they're together, right? Do they have any existing parking variances? Or parking requirements? They may have grandfathered or predated any of that requirement, but.
Well, there are requirements. We don't have a record or resolution that indicates prior relief, so I think you would want to grant that. We have to come up with how we're gonna quantify that. So one way to do that is just to look at the totality of the uses. We could take out the restaurant space. We have to look at the salon use. We don't have all the floor plans, right? So that presents a bit of a challenge. Maybe the record could simply recognize the existing uses. Being two apartments, the laundromat cafe, what I heard, as well as the salon or barber shop.
Well, the laundromat cafe, is that even there anymore? Is it just a barber shop?
No, there's barbershops from the street, barbershop, and then you have a cafe laundromat on the
67 is the.
67, that's
Correct,
correct.
but that's not 60.
Are not shown.
That's a different lot though, or is that your building?
No, same.
Building.
No, that's 69, with the laundromat is part of the 69 Maple Grove.
And is that going to continue?
It's going to continue, yes.
Okay.
So is the planner's recommendation that resolution at least calls out the other existing uses that will remain and that, you know, will require that the grandfather within the pre-existing.
And parking demand by eliminating martial arts
Correct.
and extending that's.
But that the salon and the laundromat cafe are included in this variance.
Departments.
And they are, so they'll use. Okay.
So it's mostly, as he just said, to acknowledge
Well,
that the fact that's there is no existing, we don't think there are any existing variances in place for 69.
but do we need to specify for the current uses and that if those uses change, they have to come back? I'm not sure.
Well, I think if,
It's changed.
if there's a change in tenant, let's say for the laundromat space that required more parking. If they require the same or less, it'd probably be.
We can say we have no record of it, of what parking requirements they have.
Well, I think you have to grant the relief tonight, and we can acknowledge
We've now there.
what's there today. If you have a record moving forward, and the zoning officer or the board moving forward can look at the record and make a decision based on it.
And it still tracks back to your whole point that if this were to sever. What would the situation be, and being aware that we thought about what that situation would be, but right now, to your point. This actually provides relief to building 69. In a sense, correct, it's taking a huge chunk of footprint out and saying you don't have to worry about parking. That, you said that, I think that's, however, to be wordsmith, that. We just want something in there,
Reduced parking demand.
Yeah.
8 space.
so it's beneficial because it inherently reduces parking demand, because the. Taekwondo's not gonna be there, but. If it severs. It doesn't get carried,
It doesn't get carried.
current uses. Okay.
So if you're selling some both.
Any other? That,
I think we've covered everything else in ours. Well, just a comment. I wonder, some of the parking, whether or not a loading variance has to be acknowledged. Obviously, the restaurant's gonna operate the same way. The kitchen's not gonna be relocated. But because we're including an additional property and the use is expanding that property, I question if a loading variance is technically required, you know, I don't think it's practical. There's no reason for that as the parking area.
But there would normally be a requirement for one loading space for the subject.
Are we talking about for food loading?
Right, on use, right.
But if the kitchen-
Seats, essentially.
If the kitchen is staying in the same place, would that be applicable?
I'm questioning,
It might be a basis for the room.
Yeah.
It's part of the new requirements for parking, if this was a brand new building over here.
It can be covered in the catch-all for notice purposes. I think maybe it'd be prudent unless we determine it's not required. As Tom's looking, that the applicant amend to, ask for that loading space relief. Presumably, if there's an approval, it will be granted as part of that. And it'll be reflected in the resolution. And if I speak any slower, maybe Tom will get the answer, but I'll keep going. But they'll only let me go for so long, Tom. But
There's not a reserved loading space, the parking spaces in front of 69, not one of them isn't a loading and parking only space.
so you'll amend, they have for that relief to the extent required and for
To err on the side of being conservative, we'll amend and request a loading variance as well.
Got it. And Tom, you had, if I may, you had some, items just for confirmation purposes, so on page 2 of your report, 3 of your report. It's confirmation, there's no additional landscaping, there's no additional lighting. And you've already described the access, so I guess that covers it, right?
we're probably, Lawrence, on that.
And no sign to hit them off.
And we talked about the public benefit. Reduce parking.
Correct. Good plan.
And Steve, this doesn't rise to the point of needing any of those like A, B, C, justifications for the.
I think we might have heard from our planner that in his opinion, the reduced parking may constitute a benefit to the
Right.
public. When I say reduced parking, people, reduced parking demand by virtue of the martial arts coming out and no art apparent additional parking obligation rising as a result of the 90-seat cap. So maybe that, presenting others, are benefits in a C2 analysis for the board to consider. I can give the planning testimony, but
We're intentionally adopted the
the
premise, right, the reasonings. for
which was
prior-
which was a C2 type approval to begin with. I guess you're going back to the 2015 variance.
15, 17, 22, all three.
Yeah, but we're also back to 2015 approvals, which had C2 variance relief granted by the board based on.
That's how you were carrying it basically, but by the way, the planner discovered another beneficial aspect.
One that didn't apply to the priors,
didn't-
that's correct.
That is correct. Okay,
But the prior one still is in.
yes.
So presumably, if there's an approval, I have a basis. Both historically and additional planning testimony, that I'll understand and glean from the board's decision of which one to approve. For purposes of memorializing the decision by resolution and setting forth the C2 basis for the parking variance relief, if that's what happened.
All right, and so planners, our professionals are all the way through, okay, so we can open it to the public, so. I'll do both. You wanna do? There's only one witness, right, so.
You can do question.
Come on down if you have either a question or a comment.
Or both.
That, and if you have a question, if you find if you have a comment, we'll swear you in.
Just in case there's any more.
So anyone from the public. And is there still an X there? There's an X, right? Get more away. Stand on the end.
You anticipate a comment in addition to questions?
No, actually, my questions were addressed by the board and professionals, so thank you for that, so I just have a comment.
Sure, if you could raise your right hand Do you swear to God or affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Name and address for the record, please.
Sure, name is Charles Hoitzman. Hoitsma. And I live at 26 Essex Avenue. I would like to express my concern about noise. So the question was asked and answered about live music, and that live music does not occur. It does in fact occur. Also DJs, and it is very loud at times when events occur at the atrium. And even, sir, on your website, of your patio, you have a live singer and photo.
That was the wedding that we did.
I'm
During the-
sorry, you're gonna have to.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine.
It's a hold for now.
No problem,
Consult with your attorney.
absolutely.
Also on numerous occasions, music and the party has gone beyond 10 PM. Calls to the restaurant, have gone without action. The only time we ever, had action was when we called the police department, if we heard it. So I'd just like to express my concern about another event space, more live music or DJs, and the impact that has to the neighbors. That's all. Thank you.
And if I'm sorry, if I may, Mr. Chair, there is, for the benefit, of the public, and they already know this, but the state has the, NJAC, New Jersey Administrative Code, Section 7:29 governs, the noise 50 dBA at night, which is after 10 PM to 6 or 7, I'm forgetting now. And then, 65 dBA during the day. And we have an ordinance that is commensurate with that, as it has to be in order to get DEP approval and be a valid noise ordinance at the local level. So those do exist, and they are enforceable through the police or otherwise if need be. And so they don't have to stipulate to that, they're governed by it, it's the law, whether you stipulate to abide by the law or not, you're governed by the law. So that, just for informational purposes. But other than that, I leave it to the board as to how to address the concern.
I think it's a concern, but. Yeah, you may need to get a sound meter or something, you gotta. Keep making them aware of it, and the police.
And we should look into this, I'll look into it, but because, as a municipality, we might have a noise control officer or someone designated as such, or we can be designated as such. And
Well, I remember it was complex to actually conduct a sound complaint, essentially, so maybe we should look into that.
But ultimately, enforce compliance and
Foundation
enforcement
is there,
is beyond the jurisdiction of this board, but it exists.
the foundation exists, the laws exist.
Sir, can I, so when you have a lot of noise, or it's mainly when there's a party back in the atrium, which is mainly glass and opens up. So repeat show 7.3 is the intent of this, when you're gonna have an event like that, to have it indoors in this masonry building first in the glass atrium that opens up.
It makes sense. Again, we do not hire a live entertainment, we don't do that, but if that were the case, and it depends on the time. If that was the case, I would suggest definitely to have the party indoors in 69 Maple Road. Now,
Well, you do this testimony to say you don't do it, so, there's a.
no, we do not provide,
You don't have it.
Yeah, we don't.
Facility,
Oh,
so,
Anything, whatever.
yeah, it's an opportunity, to bring an event like that indoors, but you say they pick their space in advance, so. It's not like they can move on the fly. I think you just have to be more careful with the atrium.
that's fair.
Like a speaker box there, basically, you've got anything there that's gonna. And it's gonna rise, probably in the summer months, when people are outside and they can hear it more and.
And the point isn't whether you provide the music, if your guests are providing the music, it's still.
That's fair. Sure.
Sure, venue.
Anyone else from the public?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to God or affirm testimony about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. And your name and address, please.
Anthony McCombie. 22 Essex Ave, Bernardsville.
Could you please spell your last name, sir?
MARCONI.
You.
And, you can make comment, and if you want to ask questions too, you may.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking for a little more clarity on the off-site parking on parking lot 5. You know, that butts up very close to our house and with venues, right? Some people can't always drive home, with hard to park there overnight. Just trying to understand what the use case is there and is there gonna be any way to prohibit more spots being used? It's an open parking lot, monitored very locally as is. Not taken care of, there's trash everywhere, cracks everywhere, so I'm not seeing more use helping that situation.
So the whole point of our application is that our use is not expanding in terms of the number of customers. If there's issues with the parking lot, this is a town-owned parking lot?
Yeah, it's a municipal parking lot.
At least, right?
Now,
So
You're talking about the parking lot above?
Yep.
the
I
one
don't
that's
think that's municipal. I think that Wells Fargo has that. It has an arrangement with the Essex School. Yeah, I think you're.
That's lot 5.
and that,
Yeah,
So that's lot 5.
yeah, that's the Wells Fargo owns that, that's not municipal.
So we do not have, okay, but either way, we do not have any maintenance responsibilities with regard to that, so that's an issue that would have to come up with the owner of lot 5.
and there's gonna be no additional, what's the number of parking spots that you guys lease today?
We're not leasing any, right? Yeah, because we'll lease anything now.
There's gonna be no parking up on parking lot 5.
There could be, we don't lease any specifically, and Mr. Barisha's testimony is, generally speaking, the parking is used. Train station, street, you've testified, you'll see that people in lot 5.
Generally,
I never do. Right.
never do, generally use sounds very vague, just trying to get some clarity.
Whether there's,
Legally, he has the right to look to lot 5 for numbers of parking spaces. My understanding is there currently, it's not really being used, but it sounds like it's a lot that's used by other people as well, not just Bistro 73.
And I'm trying to understand the capacity today that's being used on lot 5, is for Bistro 73.
so the testimony was that he believes his patrons don't use it at all. That they utilize the closer parking at the public train station and on street and at the commercial grade being place across the way.
They do have right to park there if they want to.
It was designated as a potential off-street parking spot to deal with it as an option.
Unlimited option, unlimited
It
parking.
was designated as a possible option. My understanding would be that if they needed additional parking, they could then make a greater whether.
So to be fully clear, if they have, if they have 40 people coming for a small venue event and they wanted to park 40 cars on lot 5.
They would have to deal with the owner of lot 5 to make those arrangements. And you're concerned about who currently uses lot 5 and the condition of lot 5 are best lodged with person who owns lot 5.
Yeah. So if they wanted to use lot 5, will we be having another meeting about that, or are they able to?
No, they would go to the owner of lot 5 and to make arrangements with that person.
Appreciate the information.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Mr. Barisha, just for the record, we do not have any formal agreement with lot 5 at this time, is that correct?
We do not.
And you have not seen the need to do so far?
No, it's a far walk. We'll come up to the restaurant.
Just curious, how is there was Somerset Feed and Grain before, which was used certainly used, I don't know whether there was an arrangement that you had, but do you have an arrangement with the new tenant?
The new tenant, guests are allowed to park there once they close the shop at 5 p.m.
And that's the arrangement?
That's the arrangement.
Great.
Just a verbal agreement
But not,
between you and them?
yeah,
or
it's
just-
not during business hours for them. But after 5 p.m. when they close, yes, they allow us to.
Nice. Any other questions from the public? Or comments?
James Peralta, 14 Woodland Road.
I'm sorry, I did a lot of this for the.
James Peralta, 14 Woodland Road.
14 Woodland, thank you.
Could you spell your last name, please, sir?
Yes, Peralta. Yeah.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to God or affirm testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. And again, for any big comments, ask questions.
No testimony, but I'm just express my concern about the noise because at the volume that's already currently is loud. I understand by the testimony tonight that it may be reduced, because some of that may be moved indoors, which that could be a good thing. But the restaurant chosen many times to leave the roof open, doors open, so the sound travels. I'm wondering, I think it's a 36-inch door that goes in that new portion of the restaurant. That it's automatic closing, that will remain closed, so perhaps the noise can travel. They just want to let the board know that another neighbor is concerned that the noise volume should get worse. That would be really something terrible for the residents in my area. I'm wondering too, could there be a dueling band effect? Because could there be speakers and amplified music in the one venue and then also in the other venue at the same time? I don't know if that's something that's planned, but just something I thought of. I'm wondering too, not that I'm concerned or care about it, but I think relief was granted for 56 off-site parking. And I wonder if the board had a running count of where those parking spaces are. Because without using lot 5 and the grain and feed, as far as I know, when I've attempted to park there, because I do some business in that area, the new owner comes out and says, you can't park here. And I said, but you're closed, oh, you can't park here anywhere. Anyway, that's when he was moving in. He was very vigilant about not allowing people to park in his spaces. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Here, summarize.
Again, we are essentially piggybacking on Lot 8's approvals for the exact same reasons that the board granted those in 3 consecutive resolutions. There is no parking on Lot 9. There's no additional number of customers to be utilizing the new space on Lot 9. It'll still be capped at 90. So mathematically, there should be no further demand for parking. As your planner has brought to our attention, there's actually a benefit of a reduction of required parking because now part of Lot 9, a good part of Lot 9 is being lumped in with the 90 that's assigned to Lot 8. So for the same reasons that you've applied for a C2 variance before, we believe those apply as well, if not better, to this application. We don't see any detriment that would arise out of this. We are certainly bound by all of the original requirements, including noise requirements, including your ordinances and state law with regard to that. Neighbors certainly have every right to enforce those as they would see fit. Lot 5, again, at this point, we're not really using it. There is no formal agreement with the owner of Lot 5, and we don't have any maintenance responsibilities with regard to Lot 5, so there's not really anything we can do about that. So thank you for hearing us, and we'd appreciate a positive vote.
Thank you. If you wish, Mr. Chairman, I might be able to give a summary of, before the board deliberates. So again, the lead sought, as I understand it, by the applicant, is preliminary and final site plan approval, parking variance, for lack of a better phrase, akin to the prior parking variance granted in the prior resolutions relating to 73, as well as to the extent required a loading space variance for the fact that there is no loading space, whereas generally one loading space is required for 69. The conditions stipulated to include but are not limited to those set forth in the planners and engineers report. All prior resolution conditions remaining in effect, full force in effect, to the extent not inconsistent with what might be a new approval, as well as the 90-seat cap remains in effect for the 2 properties, as well as the 40-seat cap proposed stipulated to by the applicant with respect to 769 Minebrook Road and the new proposed event space. There's also a stipulation that the applicant would not be using, I guess it's patio space to the rear of 769 Minebrook Road as part of the event space for which relief is requested. The applicant will be recording the resolution in the county clerk's office. So that it's in the chain of title for notice purposes to any successors and interest. The language will be worked on extensively and it'll be much better than the very general language I'm gonna state right now, which is tying the two properties together and two uses together. Vis-a-vis the parking variance cap, as well as the event space. It must be associated with the restaurant use on adjacent lot, eight, thank you. It's easier to go with the address, 73, Montville Road. And I believe that would cover.
Did you have something for trash? Did you cover a point for trash?
Well, a separate condition of approval, they testified they were using the dumpsters behind 73
Right.
for everything, but.
Did you need to include that alone?
That could be a condition.
We'll put it, well, it's. Okay, yeah, I mean, if the board wishes it to be a condition that they only use this, the dumpster behind 73, I'm not quite sure. I would-
Well, normally we'd ask if they were putting a facility in 69, we'd say, where's your parking? And say, where's your trash? Where's your loading zone? I just,
Right,
I think they've answered it and we might as well report it. You know, like the issue.
we were right, it's just all clear, if they want to put a dumpster in 60 or behind 69, does it not? They could, right?
No, they couldn't.
They could not, okay.
No, they could put some garbage pails there temporarily and then drag the garbage pails out, but there's no access to a dumpster. So they answered it successfully. I just think it should be captured as
Then it will be a
that it is
condition,
discussed and so they're amenable to it being a condition. It's fine.
all trash disposal, including.
From this space, not from all of 69, just from this space,
Or event space.
event space, right? They could,
Behind it, it's, I think he testified since put everything back, but that's fine. Behind, 73,
we care about the event space.
right. And it'll actually be a condition, I was reflecting that that's it. And any other conditions that I might have missed? I think sure we'll get them for a bit.
He said it would do it, but just the door widening, I think that, you know, we've mentioned that. And I don't know that it has to be a condition, but a simple width door is not gonna be sufficient for them to accomplish the activities they're expecting to do. Which I think he's aware of, it's just,
We will stipulate to widening the door, subject to approval by the borough engineer and or construction.
We don't need a quantification of the widening, that's good enough.
We can't stipulate to that because we don't know where the structural members might be.
So I wasn't suggesting you want to quantify it, I just want to make sure. that
that's
we're-
fine. Got it, and do we need to say anything about the? Discussion of ADA access to this space being as described, being in the path that. You know, we're not requesting that they do ADA through the front door, for instance, that we're
Accepting the.
we're accepting the ADA path as they presented.
And that'll be reflected in the resolution again, in addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have reflected.
Great.
So that's what I understand, if it's a motion to approve, if it's a motion to deny, I don't have to worry about the conditions, that's not an issue. I always use that one, I got condition to deny, okay. I'll come up with new material,
Is that was the end of your
that's the end.
discussion? And the board, inclinations? Positive. Okay, so I'll take a motion for Steve's magic.
Maybe I'll also reflect the condition of compliance with noise statute and ordinance, notwithstanding the fact that it's implicit.
They have to.
We'll make it explicit. And I'll assume if it's a motion.
Was there anything in the prior approval that clause that spoke to noise and that could be, or whatever, reaffirmed. Anyway.
There were conditions in the prior one on noise.
Yeah, so do we need to say more or no?
Oh, no, I don't need to say more than I did last time. He's saying you don't need to say anything at all, it's already in law.
Right, so noise is, okay, so that is a gauge. But it's not part of the village.
Yeah, at that point, I would move to approve the application, the amended variance that was suggested, and with the conditions stated by board attorney, be approved.
Second,
Roll call,
Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller,
yes.
Mr. Graham,
yes.
Mr. Melia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Sasso,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
and Mr. Villasiano.
Yeah.
Motion carried.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.
There's a second chance for any visitors to discuss stuff that's not on the agenda. All right, thank you. Okay, there are no board reviews, public hearing pending applications, right, we have nothing.
Nothing new.
What about the Walters restaurant, what's this story with that, just waiting for the. Yeah, I like that.
They're still going through compliance.
So that would be a status, right?
When you say they're still going through compliance, what does that mean? Like sewer or something or?
No, so, well, it could be a number of things. So once, relief is granted, they have to comply with all the conditions within the resolution. Whatever they may be, whether it's outside agents or devising plan, whatever. And then they have to submit that with all the plan revisions to the board engineer for review. And then once they comply with everything,
Right.
board engineer signs
But
off.
it's why, is there any, do you know like what in particular is slowing it down?
I don't know if Steve knows, we would spot right there.
Yeah.
Is there extended to them?
I don't know.
That could be part of it. They didn't before.
Audi did.
No, we talked about that in the meeting, so they needed to extend it out.
That may be what's slowing it down. No, just inquiring on.
Because they had to go back to
Yeah, I'm not-
DOT too, bring their secrets.
Yes.
What's the with NJ Transit they had to settle too, because something was.
Well, they should have, they were encroaching on MD Transit property, but that's more like. They should lift up those pavers. Okay, well, so we don't know, but just wondering, it's still there, okay. Recreation open space master plan. So you should have received, I took section 8. Great, section 8, but, got into the word, Aaron Duff actually helped with that. And also I updated the spreadsheet for it, which summarizes the major thoughts on each of the different public parks areas, and I need you to look at it. I need you to, there are two things for that I need you to look at. One is the text is sort of the original text. The rec committee looked at it and downgraded a number of the projects. Okay, so the question is, should we go back to the text and have it more accurately reflect what's in the spreadsheet? Or not, and I didn't want to do it because I didn't have a chance yet to have you guys weigh in on whether to do it or not, to say, well, look, don't say it in the text if it says don't do it in the. You could have strike throughs, we could have whatever you want in the text, but it needs to sync up with what's in the spreadsheet. The other thing that has to be done is section 9, which I did not look at, I looked at it, but I did not do anything to it. Section 9 is And this is how you do it. And it's a list, an extensive list of, you need this, you need to do this, here's its priority, here's the order that you need to do it, and so forth. It's a very substantial table. And I really kind of want your feedback on generally on the high level stuff in section 8 before we kind of go in and knock section 9 up, you know, make it consistent.
So it sounds like you're saying that, so the rec committee is sort
They
of
gave
like,
us
these
section-
notes are sort of like rec committee's
Yeah.
recommendations.
Well, I captured those in, yeah, that rec committees, the wording that you see in the rec committee stuff, that's. Those were just words that were in this, the spreadsheet for the most part, right? They kind of just dumped the spreadsheet into Word. So what you have from Denise, Ryan, me is, me, Ryan, Denise to you is the Word document, which is the beginning of section 8. And you have the table that's in section 8. That I repaired and got it shipshape. I need you to look at section 8 and say, okay, you have other suggestions, you know, we can, it's our plan, you know, it's our plan, so. You could look at it and say, hey, you know. You know, maybe we think the rec committee ought to reconsider something or whatever. As an example, one of my things is I always felt that Marine Crest should, the park, should just look better, you know, as an entry park, and that's sort of what it says now, clean up the brush. And, you know, work with the county, it's a county road, things like that, but it's not really making it into a gateway park right. So, but whatever you have, if you think you know of something that, hey, that would be good, that.
I would also recommend that the environmental commission take a look at this, even though it's technically a recreational master plan, a lot of this overlaps.
It's not get to look at this until later. And I sent it this afternoon to Rob Wilson and said, can you forward it in?
Wonderful.
It's sort of like half of it is playing fields and half of it is like trails and stuff that the environmental commission is interested in. So it feels like both.
Karen sits in a, so she would. But I didn't know, seeing it within the environmental commission, so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something they had looked at. And I hadn't.
Good.
So hopefully next meeting I'll have feedback from them.
So yeah, next meeting, or the key is, I'll need to progress into section 9, I think, and we gotta get all this stuff done before we have a public meeting that lets us memorialize this thing.
And is this limited just to existing recreational open space, or is it also kind of identifying potential open space / rec spaces?
You could read the whole thing, it starts talking about system-wide stuff, you know, what should we be doing? I mean, there's a philosophy, should we, there's system-wide things, should we have more fields?
Yeah.
Okay, should we have more half fields is the one I would add, it's like, what's the deal, well, people need to practice, so they could practice on a half field, they do it all the time. There are spaces available to acquire that could support half fields. But it comes back to the fundamental thing is the recommendation and the plan that we should be looking at more fields, because that's really where people are polarized, like, should we have more, and the people that need them and that have to pay for outside, they care a lot that there be more fields, and there are other people who say, no, it should be open hiking trails, and I mean, there are different camps. But if you see something, speak up and, you know, say, well, this looks like it would be worth the board putting in to the plan. I haven't looked in detail at 9, just because this is the kind of top of the pyramid, and then that gets into the much more detail and prioritization. There was even, at one point, there was even a capital budget estimate, you know, which was removed, so. And personally, I have one other item that I'm concerned about I'm concerned about how we spend our capital on these objects. I think it's a limited budget to rec, and we need to get as much bang for the buck as we can. So I'm in, like, I've been proposing not building for the pavilion, for instance, but just provide the facilities, which you can do for one half the price or less. And so, we have the opportunity to say that in this plan, that we believe there should be mobile facilities as opposed to permanent structures, as a strategy or as a planning objective. That, just so you know, that will dovetail into our emergency preparedness section, which we have to do in the master plan this year as well. We have to look at, it's gonna be a busy year for our planners, but we have to look at emergency preparedness, and that has a lot to do with, you know, when shit hits the fan or whatever you've got, where you put all the people. And these facilities are prime opportunity to
Multi-tenant.
to put people in, be multi-purpose, so. Anyway, if you wanna take a peek at 9, I'm welcome to hear anything you wanna say about it, like, oh boy, that one's obviously not supposed to be there anymore, anyone who's glutton for punishment, but please take a look at 8. And, we'll try to push that along. Anything else? I know we wanna get through that planning process, it's, been a long time, so.
Just more of an administrative question, I guess, for section 8, because it sounds like one of the annoyances is that you have to update the copy to reflect what's in the table. Why not just make the table the single source of truth for that whole section and kill the copy?
It could be the table, obviously the words have more explanation than a cell has, you know, so it provides more context. So it's there, it's just you'll see it when you look at it, you'll say, you know, like, should we just strike, you know, as this board, should we strike through it? You know, because it's still in the table, it's in the table, and it's like, don't do it, you know, or do it way down the road, you know, that kind of thing. So if it's one of those, then do we want it to be in the front, or do we only want, you could say, well, we only want things in the front to be short and medium term. But then people say, well, what about this? And they'll see it in the table, but they wouldn't see it in the words. It could be answered by just in each bullet, just putting the summary, you know, short, medium, long, or never.
I agree, having 2, it doesn't.
You know,
Right.
well, when you look at it real closely, just, it's okay to go in with that expectation and then see if you find justification for the words, and if you go in with that and you say, I still don't think there's justification for the words, and we certainly could consider just putting it in the table. We could also add words to the cell, the table.
Yeah, with that, have we overcome the PDF issue?
It's brutal, but actually Aaron Duff was able to do some extracts for me. We did not have to go through Denise and to Nancy to get the extract. It does a really bad job extracting. It's quite a mess. There's a lot of editing when it's not like it's beautiful. I'm sure there's probably a better way. It's probably to scan it, and there are probably scanning programs that'll scan it in and put it in the right fonts, you know, the word better than the Adobe does. Adobe doesn't really want you kind of going in that direction in the first place. I found that I could copy stuff out actually and say, translate this to English. It was English names. Say, okay, here, there it is, right there. Just cut this guy right out. You know, it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It's something they forgot about. Anyway, okay. Any other comments on it? It'd be nice, when's our next meeting?
Our next meeting is February 12th.
Yeah, definitely, and you can always send me any comments you want, especially about 9, because I probably want to get started on 9, so if everyone would just sort of take a quick look at 9 and say. Take a quick look, try to get back to me by the end of next week, you know, what your suggestions are.
It's even see it like 9 or 8.
Well, suggestions for 8, of course,
Yeah.
but also take a look at 9 and just
It's
because
not-
I need to go forward with, 9's.
It's
you don't
not
have it yet.
available?
No.
Yes.
Okay, I'll work on trying to get 9 to, it's in the book,
Yeah, I can get you the
the whole
whole
PDF.
thing. The whole thing is.
I'll find it.
But I'll
Yeah.
get it so that you got the lab, so that for sure. we're gonna be-
Okay, there was some, so yes, it's available in the book PDF. Okay, I think that's it, guys, so thank you. And now we'll take a motion to go into executive session.
Sure, I can speed read resolution, because we should always do by resolution, best practice, whereas the Public Meeting Act permits the exclusion of the public from from the meeting in certain circumstances. We'll be considering matters authorized by section 10:4-12B7. Now there can be resolved by the planning board, and then we will go into closed session. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is litigation entitled AR at Bernardsville LLP versus Planning Board of the Borough of Bernardsville, Somerset County Superior Court docket SOM-L-191-25, and also pending litigation entitled Aaron Duff versus Planning Board of the Borough of Bernardsville and Equity Property, currently pending in Somerset County Superior Court Law Division docket number SOM-L-546-25. It's anticipated that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the board that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. That shall take effect immediately. We would need, as always, a motion second roll call vote for the resolution to go into closed session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
And a quick roll call, please.
Mr. DeMarco,
Yes.
Ms. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Graham.
Yes.
Mr. Malia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Sasso,
Yes.
Mr. Trainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beltran.
Yeah, and before we go, shut off, it's good evening, if I can, with the chair's permission for members of the public. My understanding, when we're done with closed session, we're gonna come back into open simply to move to adjourn. So if people are waiting for further business, there's gonna be no further formal action taken after closed session, we'll just be adjourning. So we don't have to necessarily go all the way back on for the live stream, but people prefer that, we can just to say motion to adjourn and then turn it off. Whatever you prefer.
Okay, with normal shows for the public, the show's over, yeah,
Show's over for the public, yes, we're just going to close and then adjourn.
that's all folks, and Denise will close it all up. But still keep recording. Or,
No,
we don't record.
We don't record close, no.
Excellent.
We just keep minutes.
Chisels and